somewhat significant news for you. The breaking news is that the Premier League is suspended indefinitely and will not start at the beginning of May, only when it's safe to do so. Basically, it's another statement, but with a different wording. I mean, what was the point having hours and hours and hours of this discussion when no decision has been made? I think it's an absolute disgrace. It wouldn't surprise me if Richard Scudamore was there by video link, because we know what he said a year or so ago, that a team like Man City are not going to dominate the league again. And I bet you anything in the whole Woodward universe, right? If it was us, Man United and Man City on the verge of the title, it would be null and void, because it's the Scousers and they've been in the Premier League's pocket and vice versa all season. VAR was introduced to help the dirty Scouse bastards do what people thought they were going to do the previous season. VAR was introduced. They've had all the decisions go their way, and I know there'll be Scousers out there who'll go, hey, well, without VAR, we'll still be top of the league. Well, actually, Man City would have still caught you without VAR. I'd be very critical of VAR. It's given us loads of decisions, especially in the game at Stamford Bridge, where Maguire should have been sent off, and others as well. And I think it's pointless continuing the season because nobody knows when it's going to be back up and running. It's anybody's guess. Allegedly, the peak is going to be around the 12th of April. I mean, they were saying a couple of days ago it could be in June. So which is it? Nobody knows at the moment. And it's becoming a vicious circle because nobody knows exactly what's going on. The Premier League should be null and void, but it won't be. And for me, that's disgraceful. But if there does come a situation where it is voided and they award the Scouse the title even though they haven't won it, I can always say you win it by default. That's what I always say. And I thought Spurs wanted the season to be avoided. I thought Karen Brady at West Ham wanted the league to be avoided. And yet they bloody bottled it. And they all agree, when the going gets tough, when there's no solution on the table, they bottle it in front of all the other Premier League executives that were there. The Premier League bigwigs. They need to cancel the season and obliterate it. But for me, it would be great. But unfortunately, they're not coming to that decision. They're trying their damnedest to try and get the vermin over the line. There was a report in the Sun newspaper, #ByTheSun, by the way, where they said they were going to give the vermin the league title before this coronavirus, rocked up and has made us into lockdown. It's corruption in the Premier League. And it has been all season, and for me, it's ridiculous. We don't know when leagues are going to go. You got that UEFA president allegedly, however he is, writing a letter to the Premier League clubs, you must not void their season, even though the Belgium League, in the next couple of weeks, I think it's the 15th of April, could, cancel their season. So, are UEFA going to stop that from happening? And this is the same guy, right, when he was questioned by a Sky Sports News reporter, have they done enough to stamp out racism? And he goes, we have done a lot to stamp out racism. No, you haven't. You dish out fines. It's money that they can recoup 6 months later. It's not going to hurt them in the pocket. It's loose change. Fining somebody. You got Jack Grealish being fined. That's loose change for him. So, those has been made. I know that top Reds want the league season to resume because they don't want the Glazers losing money. They're all on the Glazers payroll, all of them. That's why they wanted Herrera to sign a new contract, because they didn't want the Glazers losing the money that they could have got if he signs a new contract. That's why they wanted Chon and Gomez to sign a new contract, because the same applies. They don't want the Glazers also losing Champions League money. So for me, that's a disgrace. you know, when they're struggling for content, you know, they're doing this clickbait, you know, which I really am totally against, and I'll do a segment on that towards the end of this week. So they're losing money, so I can understand, you know, they're a little bit, you know, scared. They want the league to resume, they want the Europa League and Champions League to resume as well, for different reasons. So we're at Schitt's Creek without a paddle. Nobody knows when the season's going to end. So yeah, another wasted day really. Oh, you wait all day for great news, and then the same news materialises as not what you want, unfortunately.